Hey guys, my name is Jenna Morello. You are watching Workspacery TV, and I'm so glad you found this channel this week and that you're here to hang out with me because I love meeting new friends. So feel free to drop a hello in the comments below so I can say hi. This week we are talking all about 5 easy and creative ways to declutter your desk. One of the most common questions I get asked about is desk and workspace organization, how to create an efficient system, make everything super functional, and keep it clutter-free. Because it's one thing to clean it up one day, but if it goes to chaos the next 5 minutes, then that might be a sign that you don't have great systems in place for how you're decluttering and organizing that space. And I'll be the first to tell you, it is not a mystical thing to keep a decluttered desk. It is totally possible. My desk is not perfect every single day, but the one thing that I do at the end of every workday is take 5 quick minutes to put everything back as it should be in its place, in its home. And today I'm going to share the 5 tactics that I use to make that as easy as possible so it takes just such little time and brain power to keep that desk clutter-free and ready to go. The first way that I love to keep a clutter-free desk is to rethink how you're organizing those stacks of papers, the planners, the notebooks, the notepads, all of the things that create stacks and piles on your desk. Start to organize them vertically. I use an acrylic organizer, and I'll include photos so you can see what I'm talking about, but it helps me to file things in a tiered vertical format so that I can easily grab things and file through them as I need them. And there's no digging through stacks or having trouble seeing what's in the different piles on your desk because everything is neatly organized in a vertical fashion. I like to take it a step further and organize by size in the vertical format. So smaller things toward the front, larger things toward the back. It just gives me a really easy at a glance view of what is in that pile, and I can easily thumb through and find what I'm looking for in a matter of seconds. Not to mention, organizing vertically and using this tactic is literally getting things up off your desk and saving that precious desk real estate that we all want more of all the time. So by using this tactic, you are saving that desk space and making life so much easier for you. The second tactic that I use, and something that takes a little bit of time and just intention to employ in the beginning, but once it's set up, it is ready to go, is to give everything a home. Now, personally, I like to use organizational trays. So I have one in the middle of my desk, sitting kind of under my computer, and that is where I keep all my favorite pens and highlighters. Just a few. I don't like this to be overflowing. I just keep my very favorites in there so I can easily grab them. But I know at the end of the day, when they're scattered all over my desk, all I have to do is gather them up and put them back in the tray, and that is where they're going to live. This goes for pretty much everything in my workspace. I like to know that, okay, I have my filed things here on the right side of my space and my essential pens and things that live under my computer. And then on the left side is generally where my laptop lives, and my planning tools kind of live at my right-hand side too because I'm right-handed. So everything in my workspace has a home so that at the end of the day, I know I'm setting it up the exact same way every time. And I know where to easily find things. Like I said, this one might take a little bit of planning and intention on your part when you first get things set up so that you can think about the smartest way to organize your desks depending on what you use the most often, whether you're right or left-handed, just, all those little things that play into what is going to make your workspace the most functional it can possibly be. So set up your homes for the different objects in your workspace based on how you use them, when you use them, how often you use them. One problem I really used to have in my workspace is creating Post-it notes for everything, for to-do lists, for reminders, for random phone numbers when I'm on the phone with someone and I need to jot it down quickly. I've pretty much eliminated the random Post-it buildup situation by getting a Quartet glass pad for my desk. Now this lives right between my keyboard and my computer, so it's literally living in space that was considered dead space to begin with, and it's a simple horizontal whiteboard that's a little bit elevated at an angle so that it's really easy to write on. Now, instead of grabbing Post-its and a pen, I just grab my dry erase marker and will jot down notes on there. If there's a quote I'm trying to remember or like I said, I'm on the phone trying to take notes real quick or jotting down notes from a blog post that I want to remember, whatever it might be. I jot down literally anything on here, including affirmations and goals and anything you can possibly think of. So I use this glass pad specifically for that purpose so that I can keep all that random information in one place. And then if I really want to hold on to it before erasing it, I'll take a picture and keep it on my phone and file that away in a different organization system on my phone. But if not, then I just erase it and there's nothing to throw away. Have a paper system in place. Okay, so we can't necessarily go 100% paper free. Sometimes you're going to have loose papers, different pieces of mail that come in that maybe you can't throw away, or you can throw away, but it needs to be shredded. It just needs to have a system, a simple checklist for what needs to be done with all the random papers laying around. So think about which items can be digitally organized. So what can you take a picture of or scan and keep a digital like format of on your computer or phone? For me, the big thing that I keep digitally organized are receipts. I am crazy about keeping all my receipts organized by personal and business expenses. So I use an app where I think it's called Scan Genius, where I just take a photo and it does like a black and white version, and I can organize it by vendor and whatever else I want to. With different tags. So that's really helpful. And then think about which papers need to be shredded. So I always have a small shred pile of anything with confidential information if I don't need to physically hold on to the paper, but I'm not okay with just throwing it in the trash. I'll put it in my shred pile. And then finally, any papers that you actually need to hold on to hard copies of. These are certificates. I like to hold on to specific, tax papers, business registration papers, anything like that. So I keep the bare minimum of what I do in just organized file folders. Part of what is supporting my desk here is a filing cabinet. It's a filing cabinet on the bottom with 3 drawers stacked on top. It's from IKEA and so handy. So I use that bottom filing cabinet to file away any hard covers or hard copies of papers that I need to keep on hand. If you don't have a filing cabinet, there are so many other solutions. There are really cute boxes that you can buy that are like filing boxes. And there are even desktop filing organizers. I don't love the desktop versions quite as much because they do look kind of cluttered and messy. So I like to keep those random loose papers out of sight and just tucked away in a nice, neat, safe place. Finally, get creative with your inspirational decor. Now, I am all about having some kind of inspiration in your workspace to keep you inspired on a daily basis. So photos that remind you of your why, quotes that inspire you, maybe they're beautiful gems or crystals or whatever it might be that you love to have in your workspace that contributes to just the aesthetic and environment that you love to be in. Because let's be real, we spend so much time in this space. It needs to be both functional and beautiful. So that means incorporating things that you love. So for me, I found that for a while, I just had this inspiration all over the place. It was filling like every nook and cranny, making my desk feel cluttered, even though it was beautiful and there were a lot of pretty things to look at. It was just all over the place. Now I use a slightly more organized system to keep it right there in front of me at hand, but in a nice, like organized, neat way. So I use like a collage method. I have this beautiful clear glass with a gold frame, picture frame, and I just like include little photos and quotes in there in a very like fun collagey style. It's nothing super professional or neat, but just the idea of keeping it contained in one beautiful place where I can look at it easily, change things out when I want to. That's such a fun, easy way for me to organize all that inspirational clutter in a beautiful way. And then I also like to use, going back to the tactic of having a home for everything, I like to use like ring dishes or other just little dishes. The Target dollar spot always has the cutest little seasonal dishes, and you can like change these out on a regular basis in your workspace if you want to. But I use those to house any jewelry, to house any little knickknacks or beautiful things that I love to have in my workspace, but I don't want them just sitting around randomly creating clutter. So this gives them a nice beautiful home, but also keeps them there right in front of me while I'm working all day long. So those are my 5 favorite ways to keep a Clutter-free, organized desk, super easy, like I said, and maybe some ideas that you haven't thought of already. So hopefully this video gave you some new ideas for how to declutter your desk and create a space that you love to come down to every single morning or every single day whenever you sit down to do your work. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more in the organization, planning, workspace design realm, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, do all the really good things because I'd love to see you guys around more and more as I create more fun videos for you this year. And if we're not already connected on Instagram, go find me at Workspacery over there so we can connect. That is where I'm talking all about product launches and freebies and just all kinds of fun news happening over there. And I get to hang out with you guys every day over on Instagram. So it's a win-win. It's a party. You should really join it. I'd love to see you there. Now go have some fun decluttering your desk. Have an amazing week and we'll see you next time.